The action is just heating up at the Cricket World Cup 2019. You've got two world champions now knocking horns. Australia taking on the West Indies. Two teams that started with resounding wins. Remember, West Indies forced a collapse on Pakistan. They looked mighty good. And when you look at the head-to-head clashes between these two sides, it is interesting because when you go back to the recent past, it's been one-way traffic in favour of Australia. But when it comes to World Cups, it's been West Indies that are the only side that have a favourable head-to-head versus Australia. Let's remember though that 4 out of those 5 wins actually came way back in 75 and 1983 as well. So there's plenty of history between these two sides, plenty of champion material, and we're all set for what should be a great clash at the World Cup. Here are my men to look out for, the key men, the key battles to look out for as well in this big fixture. The first man we're going to look at is Chris Gayle. He's been in inspiring form for the West Indies of late. The last year has been terrific. It's like a second wind that has hit Christopher Henry Gayle. He's coming into the World Cup off a series where he's averaged more than 100 versus the hosts England in these very conditions. So he'll hope to carry that confidence in. He started the World Cup with a 50 to his name also, and that just bodes well for the West Indies going forward. What's been good to see from Chris Gayle is the fact that he's now taking his time. He may not be running those singles just yet, but he's taking his time and picking the balls to hit out of the park, and boy are they staying hit. The other big factor is this. When you look at the averages for Chris Gayle around the world, he likes batting in England. An average in England of over 47, and that is tremendous for a man that's played so much cricket around the world. The only blip for Chris Gayle is the fact that he does not have 100 versus Australia. It's the one side that he's struggled against in the past. The only other side in the World Cup that he's not got 100 against is Afghanistan, but he's only played the 2 games versus them. So he'll be hoping to change that, while Australia will be hoping to keep it the same. My second man to watch out for also comes from the West Indies side of things. Shai really is the new hope for West Indies cricket. This 25-year-old is one of the brightest prospects on the international cricket calendar. Fantastic to watch, controlled the way he goes about his aggression as well, and he knows how to build an innings for a team like West Indies that are in need of a man just like this. He's been fantastic over the past 12 to 24 months since he's come in to open the batting for the West Indies. He's been prolific as well. When you look at the company that he is in, some of the biggest names to have come out of West Indian cricket, these are some of the world's greatest batsmen you will see. Vivian Richards, Gordon Greenwich, Suhail Chandhok, and when you found yourself amongst those and find yourself at the very top of that list, it tells you that this man has a very, very bright future. An average of 50 at this point in his career. He's gone past the 1,000-run mark. But what's even more impressive is that West Indies have found a good, solid opener in Shai Hope. When you look at his numbers as an opener, minimum of 10 innings this list here, and he finds himself at the top of another very, very good list as well. Shai Hope is one to watch out for. He's been Mr. Consistent for the West Indies, and I'm hoping that they'll keep him there at the very top where he loves to bat as an opening batsman, and hopefully he'll carry that form right through the World Cup as well. I want to see this side go deep in the competition. The third man to watch out for, or men should I say to watch out for, the West Indian middle order. It's packed with power, it's packed with explosivity, and it's got a couple of left-handers in the bunch as well. In Shimron Hetmyer and also Nick Purran, who can float along that West Indian batting lineup. It looks mighty lethal. You've also got the captain, who's been good with the ball, great as a leader, but also has come along so nicely with the bat, Jason Holder. And then you toss in the big man, Andre the Muscle Russell. Don't need to say too much more about this man because we saw him batter the bowlers to all parts. We saw carnage in the Vivo IPL from this man, and we're hoping he'll carry that form into the World Cup and carry this side deep into the competition, because he certainly can change the course of a game, not in a span of overs, in maybe 6 deliveries. And he's got the ability to put the bowlers under pressure, to feel that pressure as well. And it's great to have in a side that's packed with so much talent. The one man you don't expect to go big towards the back end of the innings is the pocket dynamo Shimron Hetmyer. A strike rate of 167 towards the back end of the innings, the most important phase of the innings. This is a man that's vital. Yes, he didn't get the runs that he would have liked in the IPL. Conditions, however, are very different in England. Conditions suit the way Shimron Hetmyer goes about his batting. So I'm looking forward to not just Nick Purran teeing off, not just Jason Holder going through that middle order as well, but of course the combination of Andre Russell and Shimron Hetmyer. In at number 4 is that deadly opening combination for Australia. Adam Finch David Warner back together, and boy are they good to watch. Warner started in supreme fashion, got an unbeaten 89 versus Afghanistan. He's just lifted on his return to international cricket. You can see that hunger, we saw it through the IPL. He's carrying it into Australian colours, and he has looked superb at the top for Australia, as we often expected as well. But the combination that he brings to the table with Aaron Finch is really vital, because David Warner likes playing against the West Indies. He averages more than 40 against this side. He's got runs versus them in the past. Aaron Finch, not so many runs versus West Indies, but what Aaron Finch does have is form on his side. In his last 6 innings coming into this World Cup, he averages over 100 runs per innings. He had a tremendous series versus Pakistan in the UAE, and he's bringing that form into the World Cup. He likes to lead this side. That leadership has added a lot to Aaron Finch's game, and he's batting with that responsibility. These two men are going to be lethal at the top. In at number 5 is this lethal, skillful and really unique bowling attack that Australia possess. It's probably one of the best bowling attacks in the entire competition. There's so much variety amongst it as well. You've got left armers, you've got right armers, you've got a leggy in there. You've got the likes of Nathan Lyon sitting out, Behrendorff sitting out, but you've also got someone like Glenn Maxwell who can chip in with a few overs, and I'll talk to you about why that could be crucial in this fixture. But let's just focus on 2 men first up, Pat Cummins and Adam Zampa. They find themselves in a very good list of top wicket takers in 2019. They're coming into this with red hot form. They've been bowling beautifully. Zampa with great drift as well that he's added to his bowling repertoire, but you've also got Pat Cummins, who's been sensational with the new ball. In some ways, it's come at the right time because Mitchell Starc has struggled for form a little bit. But with Mitchell Starc facing West Indies, you all just have to remember that he's picked up 2 fifers in his first 2 matches versus the West Indies. And as a fast bowler, as any bowler, you just need that one opposition that you're familiar with to come back into a bit of form. And maybe for Mitch Starc, this is the game for him to do it. The other men to watch out for, though, are the likes of Glenn Maxwell as well, because when you look at what the West Indians have done to leg spinners in the past, it's pretty damaging. You've got left-handers in that lineup, Shimron Hetmyer, Nick Purran. You've also got Chris Gale in the mix there, Darren Bravo also. So a lot of men who can hit the ball a long way. Evan Lewis is up at the top of the order too. So there is the temptation to maybe go to the GOAT, Nathan Lyon. Will he be brought into the attack, or there will be a lot of responsibility on Glenn Maxwell? He's been bowling a lot more in the nets, and it's coming good for Australia because you've got the option of having an off spinner in your lineup, keeping the balance without taking someone out and bringing Nathan Lyon in. And that's why Glenn Maxwell's overs will be crucial versus this West Indian batting lineup as well. It's going to be a great battle as this unfolds later today. Some big men to watch out for, huge names in international cricket, and it's coming your way, colliding at the Cricket World Cup.